Ready to go get my coat.
Oh, okay.
I said, well, he's supposed to be coaching basketball now, but he said he doesn't know much about it. He says, well, he doesn't know much about soccer or softball. You know what
Dang
he
it.
said.
I see right through it. I fake it. I fake it though.
Just have to be one step ahead of the kids, that's all.
Maybe it was football. I don't know much about football, coaching football.
Might have been football.
Yeah.
But
And then I coach baseball and I never played baseball.
what names
Oh,
do you know
God.
when you play football?
Little Brink, he's on my team every time.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know where
What
we
did you
saw
name
him
it?
at. Where he's found out.
Dyer.
Blocked it. Oh, I looked, it wasn't there, so I thought, I don't, you must not have hit it.
I said, oh, do you know Buznick? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, tell him I said hello.
Yeah, I probably coached 60 different kids now.
Well, this was an adult, not a kid.
Oh. I don't know if I coach them.
Okay, well.
Oh my God. They're called one meeting?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Buckle up. Our fearless leader gets us right through this stuff like.
No, the highlight of the whole basketball tournament, Reed hitting the shot to take the lead with the last 30 seconds to go. He's like, he was so fired up.
He told me yesterday he won the,
He would have won the
he
game.
hit the game-winning shot and then we lost. I hit the game-winning shot and then we lost.
That was fair.
That looks like the
They
Michigan
were
State
all,
game.
they were all cheering all the way down, and I'm like screaming, and I'm like,
The other team was coming back to score.
and they did, and it was over.
Celebrating.
Hit the game-winning shot and then we lost.
Won't do that again.
Okay.
It was sweet though.
Oh, shoot. We're gonna buzz through this,
Yep, yeah,
nothing to it,
nothing to it.
like that verbiage. 6:04, 6:05. Minutes. I saw something in here that didn't make any sense.
That's good.
This $100,000 for the audit. I think we need to,
Somebody got the wrong zero in there.
we gotta de-digitize that 10.
We wondered why, if anybody ever read these, so, yeah.
It's $1,000 over here, 500 to
Oh,
1,000, but
goodness.
here it's 100 grand.
I don't know.
So we'll just,
10 grand.
yeah, or 10 grand, yeah, I guess, well, they got the comma there, so it couldn't even be, it could be 10 grand, I guess. but- So
We can make that correct.
just make that correction, I think was the only thing I saw, unless someone else saw something else.
Price really went up.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes
With that,
with that change.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, treasurer.
Okay, so we just have a couple new items. The deposit for Bonnie Lucille, that did go in January to cover our dollar amount. We talked about it last month, but this month it's cleared in the bank. Then we did pay the audit, the $1,000, which we were just talking about, and then another interest deposit of $30.08, which brings us to a balance of $126,565.27. And then I also want to point out something that we were talking about last week that I didn't have clarity on. I went back to look it up. And our face forward that we brought forward for this year was roughly $15,000. But in October, we did an early face forward for Tiffany.
Yeah.
And so that went against our dollar amount,
That was like 2,400 something too.
2,600. Yep,
2,600.
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought, we were, I know budget we had.
15. Yep.
And didn't you show in our budget, that was what I get it wrong. So you show a budget of 28,000.
Right, because
And
we brought forward some that had not paid out yet. From the previous year, so we had some that were encumbered. That. We hadn't paid out, so we brought that money forward to
That's still
use,
considered. That be done that way.
That's what you guys did. We always used to just put that in there and then kind of. Take out what was like, I mean, same thing, it just wasn't in the line item.
I'm just saying, because
You
when
see
you
what I'm-
see it the way you have it,
Mhm,
that is correct because of a running balance,
yep,
but it's not, that's not the budget.
Well, it's the budget and it includes the ones we approved from last year.
that weren't paid.
That's what she, but without,
But when you take that to the city as a line item budget, should it go in that way? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong. I think that,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a continuation, which I
Right.
get.
I think the term budgets get our total with our current budget. Where it at, but it's not. the
you
budget
could
we
add
take.
a
It's not our
column that
proposed
says
budget we
budget
take.
carryover.
Right.
Yes,
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 I could-
it would
I
make
could do that.
cleaner.
I could switch that to have a carryover, because I have notes on what we added on and what we had as a carryover.
Do you see what I'm
Yep,
saying? When it goes to the city council, like he's saying, it's a proposed budget. If we have 28,000 in there as a proposed budget, it's not true, right?
Well, it is.
It is
Or
true,
is
because
it
that's
true?
what we're gonna pay out
It's
this
just
year.
not, it's not true out of,
It's not what you're proposing for the following year, though.
no, it is. It's, but you're saying you're gonna spend that next year.
Okay,
Okay, but when you do that, you're spending it out of fund balance. So there's a new piece to it, and there's a piece from last year. I mean, you guys are saying the same things, you're just getting there in a different route.
which is
And-
fine.
yeah.
I'm just
I
wondering if
don't
it's okay.
I
If
think,
it's okay, fine with me.
I think it's fine if, when we go to explain that, so you only get 50,000 in each year, but you're spending 75. Then you know that 25 is from carryover from last year.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I mean, however you guys, whatever makes sense, so that it, I mean, and I see what you're saying, when you see 28,000. What we could say is 28, thousand, and I mean, there's not really room on here to put
Right.
like a whole bunch of,
well, then
but
you
if
have
you
to
put a
you have
column.
list.
if
You don't want to do that.
Well, you could have a note at the bottom. We used to, I mean, that's what we did. We would sit here and John would go, okay, here's what we got in the bank, here's what we're budgeting. So this much we still gotta spend from last year's budget, so we did the same thing, just we hand wrote your little notes
Right.
sometimes and we got there. So it was still budgeted, we knew, but what we did is we took it out of our beginning balance. Do you see
Well,
what
you're
I'm
showing
saying?
the current as the 16,240, right? Which is
That's what's been spent.
That's currently what's spent.
correct.
Yep.
So you're taking that off the 28.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the 28 is what we were planning for the whole year to spend, even,
From whatever was
Even
left over from the year previous.
Yeah, even if it's stuff that we approved last year but didn't pay for last year.
But let's say let's do this. Let's say if we have a budget of 15,000,
which we don't.
well, let's say we do. And we don't spend one dime of that.
Mhm.
The next year, do we show that we have a budget of 30,000?
Yes, that's what you guys have been,
Only
that's
if
what this
we've
is doing.
approved it as encumbered, only if we've approved it. So if we only brought forward what we were already committed to paying.
That's where
Yeah.
I think that's where the thing's going on.
Right, and so.
Because now this year, when we say we're gonna look at what we've got to spend on page forward, we wanna say that we've got 15,000, that's what we told them.
Right.
That's what we put in our budget for the fiscal year.
And we do.
Right, right. And I just
But we
think that's
don't.
where,
Well, we do, but we've spent part of it already.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, without money in the water, that's just because she came in early, but
Mhm.
typically would just be the 15.
but if you get,
And then so the 28 is just the carryover from
Correct.
for the whole year from the year before when we had some open stuff still that is carried over.
So
But it's
what,
not really what we decided as our fiscal year that we were gonna spend on pay forward, right?
That's what's in my head.
I can just
Not
add
that
a
it's correct or
column. I
incorrect.
think
I'm
we
like,
can add a column of carryover.
do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
mean,
saying.
but I think.
I don't wanna muddy it up either, make it
No, but
complicated.
we used to do it, but if we just did it, like, we would have what was in the bank, a beginning balance, and you guys would do your budget. And you would go, okay, here's all the things we want to budget for next year. Here's what we have in the bank.
This is what used up.
And there, and then, but here's what we have left. We knew we had, you know, we gotta pay the auditor. We knew we had to do the flowers or whatever. So we would subtract all that from that beginning balance. We did it before, we just did it differently.
Okay.
She's adding it to these and leaving the balance alone.
Okay.
You see, it's the same,
Same thing.
yeah, but I agree, if you guys need further explanation, then it makes sense that you would say, well, for this year, we're gonna have available 15,000, but we're, you know, we're gonna probably spend 28 because 12 of it's from last year, whatever. Something like that.
I think this carryover amount would matter more if we were closer in. If we didn't have so much money in the bank, if we only had our budget amount in the bank and we were spending money, but we had committed money. Then we would run out of money.
Well, that's
Correct.
another reason
Yeah.
why I didn't want that number to be that high. Because if you were to see it that way, then you could think that there was more money there.
Available to do it.
Which if we were only
there
putting
is,
15
we have so
in,
much
we're-
money in the bank.
well,
At some point, you'll-
for once, it's not a bad deal.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
all
I'll just
about-
add a column for next meeting.
Well, because
so that
what,
that-
I
that
mean.
shows
I
the
don't wanna
difference.
make it complicated.
No,
not
so I
complicated.
think the difference, what we're talking about here is the money that comes in every year, so the money that comes in from your TIFA.
Mhm.
When you take that out of people's taxes, there's that single bucket every year, say it's $50,000. So we have that money, that's really what you're trying to budget for, right, is to spend that money. And the rest of money that you spend is coming out of all the TIFA money you haven't already spent. Your savings.
Mhm.
So however you wanna look at that, if you wanna budget for your 50,000 and then say, on top of that, from our. Fund balance, our savings, we're gonna spend X, Y, and Z. Which would include encumbered items like you spoke of,
Mhm.
or, you know. Does that make more sense? No? Made it
No,
worse?
it's the same thing. I'm probably looking at it way too. Critical. I mean, I'm thinking in my brain and probably doesn't even come with what you guys think when you see it. You're seeing it the right way. I'm probably saying it backwards.
I,
No,
I mean, I think it
it's
makes
just-
sense.
It's all the same, but it just isn't separated out here, but I can easily add a column and do that.
I think that would probably
Yeah.
clear it up.
I think it would.
Yep.
Any other questions on? Trying to make her more confused.
Nope.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Patch on me. You need to show us that? Is that what you're?
This is what the application that we had, so we did submit this. Just kind of keeping the DDA apprised of what we have going on.
Is there a number of match-on names that can be submitted per year?
I think that well, not per year so far, but per round too.
Okay.
And there were, we've never had two to submit yet. In the beginning, we thought we were gonna have to choose and whittle it down, and we've never, I mean.
Bonnie Lucille was the first round. This is another round.
Yeah, Bonnie Lucille was I think the second time that we applied, and we got it that time,
No one got it the first.
right?
She got it the second. Rosemary got it the third.
Yep, and now
And this
we're
is-
applying again. We turned it in on Friday, so. So basically, they're looking at opening, the cinders and making it a restaurant slash banquet center.
So
Yeah.
we start with the banquet type first and then these can do this and then.
Yeah, kind of sounded like maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So we, I mean, I don't think it'd be bad for you guys to support the application, even though we've already submitted it, but yeah. It does. But we just wanted you to know that's what was going on and that we have submitted another one of these. So,
Is this the same owner or new owner?
same owner.
That was my other. You paid 50 for that, or 25, or 20. Okay,
That's what he said.
It-
they're going
You
to
can't
now.
sell them though.
well, it's a liquor license, it's not a liquor license.
No, it's
It's a
not.
beer and wine license.
Well, no, it's actually a redevelopment liquor license, like, so, because when we applied to have a redevelopment district, it allowed us to get 12 liquor licenses downtown that we didn't have before.
But they're not liquor. They're
Well,
beer
that's
and
what they're
wine.
called.
It's beer and wine only.
Which is-
You can't sell liquor, right, beer and wine.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll look it up again, but,
I mean, I don't know that
I
it's
just
beer,
use
wine.
Liquor for like.
Right.
snacks, you know, it's
right,
a General.
and there used to be like a liquor license, like a
Yeah.
bar liquor license.
Yeah.
They used to be, that would be cheap for some. Of 50,000. A lot of them would sell for over 100 grand, but they were so minute. But here years ago, when he applied, the city had 20 of them, whereas before they wouldn't even give you maybe one or two, depending on your dense population.
These are
was
these
based
are
on-
redevelopment.
Yeah, so all of a sudden the government decided we can sell these for 20 grand a piece, so start selling them, so that's what they did.
No, we applied to the state and qualified for them,
But I mean, that's how much they were,
right?
20,000.
But 15 of it came back to the city.
He actually uses.
Yeah,
Don't worry, Mark is very technical tonight. He's just,
I'm getting there.
yeah, he's had a very technical kind of day or something. so.
apparently, I didn't have no liquor. Uh,
Just beer.
Which doesn't matter anyway. Yeah,
Basically,
if
it's
you
just-
wanna put it in the minutes as a,
Sure.
you guys wanna support,
Absolutely, sure.
go ahead and make a motion to support.
Yeah, I motion to
Yeah.
support.
Okay, in a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. We'll give him support.
I don't know why Kim does this whole thing. Okay. I thought
So
we
we
would,
have one phase forward, did you say,
Yeah.
or did you get another one?
yeah, we just have one so far.
But do we wanna just wait until?
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys wanted to, I mean, you
wanna
just,
review it?
we've never done that before, reviewed them ahead, so it's up to you, but it is, we do have one right now, so.
I would say we might as well wait until we get them all, or if there is one, or, and then go from there.
All right, so we'll bring these, next month,
Right,
because they're due the 17th.
yeah, we'll look them over. And decide from there. Plan development,
Just wanted to make sure everybody read their email, they know what we're thinking about doing here, and, talk about the project. At 120 Railroad,
there's one railroad,
it's the old elevator,
okay,
it's right behind PDP's, it's a really long, probably 1,000 some odd feet. Right, it goes almost back to the, like, not as far as the lagoons, but like in that little wooded area right there. So we've been contacted by Edwin Allen Homes, and they wanna put 30 houses back there, and they won't be like, you know, they won't meet any of our current traditional zoning guidelines, so we have to create a PUD, which is a plan unit development, which is allowed in our ordinance, and so these houses will be probably like 25 or 30 foot frontages, which our old original plat was 25 feet on a lot of them, so it's nothing. It won't look funny, you know, because like a lot of our homes, that's what they're on, they're next to each other like that, so. But, there'll be, I think 1,400 1,400 square foot, 2 stories. 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, I think. So, and they're gonna be rentals.
Is it
The guys,
that picture like little individual things?
Yeah.
or-
yep, they're individual, they're not like townhouses, they're not attached. They'll each have like their own yard, parking garage, whatever. I mean, we haven't seen an actual like site plans, we're just really at the very beginning stages of this.
So this isn't like a rendition of what it would,
No, I think it's something similar to what they've done somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's probably close, you know, I don't know where the garages are gonna be or any of that, we haven't seen any like. Drawings, sitting it on the site, and we gotta figure out, you know, you put 30 houses back there, you're gonna need some road. You know, so we gotta figure out all that stuff, and we'll have to extend the sewer. And, we're looking at a pilot, which is a payment in lieu of taxes, so they'll pay whatever we negotiate, they'll pay that. To the city instead of taxes, and then we have to figure out how those get dispersed or how that works, but it's an ordinance that is passed by the city council. We've had them before, we have them now.
they will be in our district.
It will be in your district. But it, you know. I mean, I don't even know how we quantify what 30 houses in our district will mean to us. I mean. Yeah, right. It's hard, and what it ends up being for the DDA, you know, years down the road is just, you know, that's a lot of money.
But would that be like set out years? Is it a free tax for a long period of time or
I
something?
think
or
they're asking for 10 or 15 years.
Okay,
I can't remember what it was, but I mean,
Those tax shelters you put in.
yeah, so, you know, they're looking at a $7.5 million investment. In, you know. Bunch of money that'll come to our schools and that kind of thing, so, you know, it's just. It's, that pilot is, legal under the new, workforce development housing that governor just passed. Not by yourself, I'm sure. But it's called the work, it's. They used to work through MISTA and they had to get a pilot through MISTA. Now they're allowed to go right to some municipalities and work with us directly. So we had a pilot on those apartments down by the elementary school and they paid us, you know, I don't know, $10,000 a year. For how many ever years it was. That was just an example. We have a pilot at the Looking Glass Terrace. And that's a senior housing pilot. We get $8,500 a year in taxes or whatever, and I mean, it just doesn't change, it's something that was negotiated to get that type of housing here at the time. And so this would be very similar, but this is limited, we could limit how long the pilot's good for.
but that's all will be negotiated
Correct,
through this to
correct.
do
And I
it.
mean, I think that we haven't seen that agreement, we have seen that, you know, in a purchase agreement form. And so we send it through the attorney, you know, there's a lot of work to be done, so we're kind of engaged with them right now, we're not married to them yet.
Because how does that work too? Like, I'm thinking of, so you have that to extend the sewer. If are they on, how does that get paid for?
They'll each,
I know
they'll have the.
they'll pay their $75
Yeah,
or
they'll have
whatever.
their $75.
But will the cost of putting that in, will that be just that particular area? For
Well, the
the,
sewer's there, so they're extensions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep. Because I've heard of other places that extended sewer and city water, that's how they did it, they assessed like. A particular area separate from everyone else so
Yeah.
that they could have it. I was just wondering how that worked. I know you don't know a lot yet, but
no, they did mention in the purchase agreement that, you know, they would like the city to connect the sewer.
for sure.
Which it's already there, it's not like that's gonna be a big problem, and then we would just have to put leads.
So you're thinking that would go right from like PDPs
They're gonna start right behind PDPs and just,
and go as far as what the railroad owned or beyond.
so you know where Clinton Street is,
Yeah.
like that comes down,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be just past that. That's depth wise. Are you talking width wise?
With what?
So that would, well, that's what we gotta figure out, whether that would be a road that we would extend on there, because we can extend Clinton Street over to Williams. So there's like a,
But if you put,
but we don't want, I mean, Williams is gonna come in way back here where we have nothing. That's gonna be terrible. So we would probably just extend that to Railroad. And then you would turn up Railroad.
so would they face railroad and?
We don't know yet. That's, yeah, that's
You're-
one, it
Are you
just
gonna be
kind
able
of.
to fit 30 or 15?
I'm kind of thinking they might wrap around in there a little bit, because I feel like,
Like a cul-de-sac.
but I think that that's what they're investigating right now is where that,
How to fit it,
how that would
how it
look,
would work,
yeah.
how.
But, I think we just want to make sure that this conversation's open, people start asking us questions, things we didn't think about, So, I mean, I've already met with the health department to talk about the wells and what options are available there. So they're working on some ideas and plans, whatever we ought to do. Who
Yeah,
else did we reached out to somebody, oh, we've got Tritera out there, I got the MEDC to cover the cost of, all the environmental that needs to be done. I think it's $12,500 they agreed to pay for all of that stuff, to do all the study that needs to be done to make sure. What, if there's a due care plan necessary or whatever, so.
And so this 54,000, or excuse me, the 540, when I looked at this before, I wondered this. That 549,000 annual state investment to public schools is based off 2 students living in 1 unit.
Right.
That's where that comes into play. That was the only thing I didn't understand about this little blurb. Okay.
Yeah.
that
So,
makes
I mean, there's,
sense.
it's a
They're
possibility,
estimating that.
but our school, would definitely benefit from that new housing as well.
but the house, they're rental properties, they're not. Individual,
Correct, they're gonna own,
all of it.
Alan Edwin Homes is gonna own the entire complex. And they have, apparently they have, I don't know if it's around the country or just in Michigan, it's probably around the country, I imagine. But they have these rental properties and they decided it's pretty good business, so. And we're kind of, for us, it's almost better
We need the
that
housing.
does stay like that, because they're gonna be motivated to rent them and get them,
Does this connect to a low income thing or not?
no low income thing.
Okay.
No, they have mentioned that, I think somewhere they're trying to keep the rents around, $1,500.
But they're not based through the government.
Nope.
Yeah, so they don't have to.
Nope. Nope.
Hmm.
Should be good for the district, for sure.
Yeah, over time, one way or another.
Support for our businesses, 60 new wallets downtown, at least.
Yeah,
There's really no action needed on this, it's just,
You mentioned the pilot things, and what says 10% payment in lieu of taxes on $1,500 rental. What does that mean? Like, they will pay the city
correct.
$150, let's say
Yeah,
$150.
so they estimate to be annually 54,000.
Okay, that's what.
15 years, right?
I think that's what they,
Well, the letter from them. it says-
Yeah, somewhere.
Sign up, so-
I mean, we haven't signed any of that yet, it's just, that's what I think, I thought they said 15 years.
so you're saying in these other ones, they had signed a deal and they're pretty much. There's no increases or whatever, they've signed a deal and they've kept like the old folks home, it stayed
Right,
what it is.
I mean, that was through Michigan or another government program, that one, we didn't have anything to do with whatever was negotiated there. But when we put the pilot in on that, the guy came to us on the housing down by the elementary school, we did negotiate that pilot. Cause they were just gonna close down the apartments and we weren't gonna have that. And so there was a negotiation about what would work, to cover the taxes. It's a pretty big chunk of change when you got a empty unit. And it was in bad shape for a while, but I think it's better now. But they no longer, we revoked their pilot because they weren't paying. Then we revoked it, so now they're back on the taxable full. So. I know, makes no sense, does it?
Stab yourself in the eye for some reason. Why would you do that? Well, I guess.
I think owners changed. you know.
Management companies or
I
something.
think that it got sold and, we didn't have, we just revoked their pilot. And I could have went back taxes. I mean, I don't know what was gonna happen.
They
but-
change managers up there all the time and makes us people.
It's in it.
But not even a manager on site anymore up there. They're like 2 hours away.
Okay, well,
So we're happy they picked us and we're excited to see how that comes out.
do they pick on like small towns like that, or do they go,
Absolutely not.
no,
Nope. They normally do big
like
cities.
big city
Yep.
and pick off a little area? in the
But they
city?
went, the day they met with me back in December, they were looking at Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids and a couple of other places and. Justin Horvath had got them to come to Shiawassee County and asked me if I wanted to meet with them. I'm like, sure. So met with them, turned on the charm, went to Chilligers.
Oh, really?
And-
around the car.
And now we got a deal.
Is it a deal or is it still?
We have actually signed a purchase agreement, which, so that means we both have some things we gotta all work on. So we're like in a discovery phase. And if something comes back really bad on the, the environmental or whatever, then, obviously they would have the right to back out if their layout doesn't work for us or something, we can't come to an agreement on the pilot, then, the deal could go away. But I think everyone is, committed to try to make this work. And so it's really hard to quantify what that will mean, but I think that it's gotta be big for the businesses. So the economic development piece. It's really important.
We'll need another restaurant.
You think?
Right across the street from it.
Yeah.
Within walking
Maybe a
distance.
bar, another bar or something.
Yeah.
But I mean-
Require the renter's insurance.
There you go.
Just saying.
They'll probably have pets. Probably.
More people, more houses, won't hurt anything.
That's
More,
a good thing.
more money.
And they'll want to probably get out of that and buy a house,
Oh,
build a
yeah,
house in the neighborhood.
They'll need insurance.
Mhm.
yeah.
I think you're gonna see a huge amount of like retirees, respectfully, senior citizens.
Not a bad thing either.
Yeah.
That's huge. People leave town, they leave their families, they leave us because there's no place for them to go.
Go.
That they don't have to deal with the maintenance. The rental feature of this is huge. At
Yeah,
that point, a lot of people of older age don't want to deal with all that baloney. They just don't. This seems like a really good deal if it is what you say, 3-bedroom, 2 baths, or whatever the case
I'm
was. I
pretty sure
can't
that's
remember what
they-
I read.
Yeah,
That price point too is you're gonna,
Yeah, why
I
not?
think so too.
Why not?
I think so too.
I'm already looking ahead to my retirement.
Okay. Michigan Main Street program.
So Jeff, last time you guys, we talked about, Jeff and I were gonna meet with the lady from Michigan Main Street. And there is, there's a like series of videos and stuff that have to be watched in order for us to, get like engaged in the Main Street program and stuff like that. And our hope is that, our fellow will help us get through the Main Street, application process and that kind of stuff. But I think that we have to watch these videos. And that's what I thought I brought with me, but I don't see it. So I'm thinking we're gonna start watching them maybe at our meetings.
You said they're like a 20-minute thing?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that are really short, so I think we just need to, show them here, so we all see them together, ask questions, and I think it's probably the best way to do it. Cause I think if all of us try to do it individually, it's just not gonna get done, and I don't think that. No, I think we'll get more out of it if we do it here. So that's kind of what we're thinking.
And we throw one or two of what, however long they are.
Right.
Into a meeting. Our meetings, seems that we don't talk about flowers anymore. They've been around an hour, so. They used to be 2 and 3.
But don't worry, we're getting close to banners.
And spring's right around the corner.
So, not so bad. I guess you could, so are they gonna send them? to you or something?
Actually, she sent me a link and a login and that kind of stuff, so I can pull them up and we can watch on them. So,
Okay. I mean,
yep,
you have at it. Can always learn.
we do have a
something.
popcorn machine.
All right, let's go to this quote then.
So we had the quote back in November, so we had already did have this quote, so this is what we started. And you guys said, okay, now let's get them designed. So. The design is the issue, right, not the price. So, I mean, this was the last month, you're like, well, all right, let's get a price on these, well, we actually already did have a price, right?
I think the only question was how much it was gonna cost for the design, like as we. Linked around with that. Right?
Right. So, you didn't tell us to order them, you just told us to get the pricing, and so Cassie. Is there something else that on the pricing, I don't know, that's like, just for those? What, the wolf pack and the welcome ones?
I thought we ordered those. We didn't order the Wolfpack ones.
No, you told us to get a price on them,
Alright.
and then Kim goes, well, we already got the prices, so. You
I
did
didn't
not
think that we
authorize,
saw
order.
the price.
Yeah, we brought this
Last time
back.
we did.
I remember the
No, but we
$65
brought this
an
price in
hour.
November, and last
We
month,
approved it without,
yeah, last month. None of us remembered that we did have this price.
It's just what it looked like.
Right, but we did already have this price, but,
We've got us.
so,
I guess, yeah. So let's see if we can kind of figure this out. So what is the 74 quantity? That's-
74 banners.
Yeah, what is that buying, I guess?
Well, that's, right, that's buying 74 banners at whatever. You know, if you want 74 of this one,
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Do we,
Yeah.
because we kind of had determined that
The number we needed.
so now we're at,
this one and this one were
right, so
gonna
you
live, right?
authorized 40 right
Okay.
now, but you didn't tell us to order them, you just told us to get the
Oh, I know,
price.
but we were talking about putting, like, taking like a city one and like, instead of doing the
Mixing.
seasons, like put some snowflakes on one or leaves on the other, make it like seasonal, but it still was the city. That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah, snowflakes fall in spring.
Those are my nose.
But we kind of determined that the Wolfpack Country
Yep, this
and
is-
this one were good
Yeah.
and they're a go.
but you did not tell us to order them, I want to be clear.
All right, well,
Do you agree
If-
with me?
if-
Yeah, I did not write it down that we were ordering them. I think when we talked about it, we didn't have this quote with us.
Right, so I think we
Right.
all forgot that
You're
we
right,
already
right.
had that quote.
Yeah,
okay,
So-
so
How many did you need, remember? Because you said last time how many you would want.
There was like so many wolf bags, so many. this.
Well, it was 20 of each, 20
So-
wolf pack and 20 of the welcome.
But you like extra, is that include extra,
So that's what you told us to order,
Dave?
or not order.
so
Dave?
How many poles?
our budget
Now
aligns.
I gotta go back.
we got 29 poles or something, right?
Wait. We've been through that.
I thought we had,
Let's see.
The $600.
Where's my little spreadsheet?
Probably from the design.
74 divided by 10.
So our plan is to have 34 poles when we get everything
That's. yeah.
correct.
Oh, yes, yep, yep,
Brackets and stuff, yeah.
yep, so we're 600
So we're gonna have 34 poles.
We're not there yet.
Right now, we have
At the same time, I don't
All right, well, I was thinking it was
So you'd
29.
have to slow through it.
Let's say we got 25 poles right now. Right?
Mhm.
Because we got 25 poles.
Sure,
We know that.
absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
So if you're doing the maximum on those poles, the most you'd need of one of those, you would need like 25. Correct?
You're thinking good today.
So if that's, if we're at 50, you've got, I don't understand the 74 there, but maybe that was because we were doing whatever, doesn't matter.
Because I think you wanted extra, right, Dave?
I'm
You said
right.
They get wore out.
Because
or
he
He
can,
has
You
notes
wanted
on
like
this.
10% extra or something.
I know, I got,
Yeah, we talked about that, a couple extra. Fingers, burns, and
So, but, yeah, to stay in budget, we would need 63 of them. To stay in a $4,000 budget.
Yeah, this is how it came up last time, was that we knew we had a budget, we weren't sure what these actual costs were. And
So you
so
already-
then this time we were,
Should buy 30 each, so.
oh, that's not, that doesn't have a good one. We already paid something for them for the design.
yeah, it was $600 or whatever.
So what we did talk about the city one, like putting snowflakes on it too.
Right.
For winter season and then leaving a couple for fall. and
Keep you busy.
Mark them
you
in.
don't need many snowflakes, because the only place that gets them is behind the bar, because everything else has the.
We already have
Right,
30,
we do.
decoration.
we already have 36 winter ones, right? Are those the snowflakes or those that include the winter stuff?
Them include the winter. fest.
Oh, okay, like fall and spring then.
we have to take them down. anyway, because of the Christmas decoration.
Okay.
Fireworks. No, we didn't like fireworks. Flowers and these things.
But if you're buying, let's say 30 of each of them, that's too many, correct? Because if there's 25 poles and you're only putting them up every other one,
Yeah.
you still get double that.
But we do have brackets on more than 25 now, because you did these already, right?
We did some of these already, and I got more in the bag.
I mean, if we were just adding more. so-
Yeah, you don't do every single one the same, correct?
Correct.
So whatever you're buying, you're already, you got some extra that he can swap in and out as they deplete, as they weather. Right? If I understand that, right? So if you buy 30 and 30, you've got enough to do all the poles easily in those two under budget.
Mhm.
Twice over.
Correct, exactly. So why don't we do that right now? And then if we want to go into a huge discussion next year, and we wanna, they've already got these. The only one we were thinking about kind of doing, right, was the Langsford one, the
That's what
welcome.
we talked about last
And we were talking about doing something just briefly to it. Let's get these here, get them up. Filter them in, and then we'll work on this at another time of making that a different.
And some modifications.
Correct.
Are you willing to pay for some farmers market ones? I think we finally got those designed by the farmers market people.
That would be cool.
How many?
So how many do you think you'd put down there, Dave? Or would you put them out the center?
And we want Roosevelt Road 4.
Okay, but you don't want them just there, do you? Wouldn't you
I
want?
don't, we really never have put them anywhere else, so we're kind of thinking, we might-
Roosevelt Row and the one by the post office. That's the one.
and then what we got these over here now might be good to have one at the park.
So let's say you
Is there
did
any on
10.
Main Street that say?
Let's say you did 10 of them.
Takes 5 off of each other.
You want one on Main
The
Street?
only
We're
one
still
on
under
our
budget.
Main Street was right at the corner of Roosevelt Road and Granite.
But you could see it from Main Street.
There you go.
25, 10 by 10.
I like it.
And it's a decision.
What are we doing?
My God,
Uh-oh,
25, 25 and 10?
yes. Is this the first time we've ever been under budget?
It pretty much, yes.
Wow.
I'll be left
I
with
kind of
less-
like
less
that,
Copy changes and less, whatever.
But you're gonna have double right now, that, right?
which is fine because they're gonna keep you for a longer period of time, one, and two, exactly, it's under budget. We're not spending. And then we can, like we said, we can make a decision on doing something different to that one and getting 10 here the next year and 10 the following year. And then he can filter them in. But that one's our staple, right? We need that one. I mean,
Well,
And so is the wolf pack.
yeah,
But
pretty
what,
much.
what we're gonna be shelving, half of them. Right?
Well,
Half of them will be shelved.
correct.
For.
I mean, we don't have to have that
However,
one.
The wear time on is gonna be faster because you're not even changing them out with the spring and the fall. ones. So,
We have some fall ones we don't like right now, right? The spring ones,
You didn't like me there. They were, they're
they're
all
not-
bad.
those two are bad. I feel like the winter ones were okay.
The blue ones were, the
Yeah.
white ones were not.
And then we have 13 Wolfpack already, and then,
The other ones don't see any
and the
sun.
pancake ones are still gonna go up,
And
right?
the only ones that go up behind the bar.
And I was gonna say, and then you only have a few of those that do that anyway.
So we don't need a motion to already pass all this, we just get it.
Why are the winter ones only behind?
Because of the decorations.
Because all of this.
It's all about money regarding motion.
Sorry,
Oh.
decorations on.
Oh.
Yes, so now we just gotta make a decision on how many, so, and I like the 25, 25 and 10, so 60 of them,
Okay,
okay? So we'll do 25, 25 in your farmer's market. Okay,
okay, at some point, I think we should look at like something that says music, movies. I don't know,
Like a summer one.
so,
have them decide what,
well, no, I mean,
now that
I
we're,
just feel
now that
like,
we're doing business with them,
right,
and then they'll say, hey,
Do we wanna back up and do 2020 and
well, I'm just
Okay.
thinking
Then
that
we get
if
this
we
one.
go ahead and get those in there, then. We would have, for this summer, we could put like a music, and we could probably put some of those like downtown behind the bars or.
2020, 10, 10.
Yeah,
Five,
we're back to
five,
20,
five.
yeah, because I don't really think we need 25 of the Wolfpack ones, because we already have 13.
No, but it would be, if you're gonna put some up, you should have some on the ground over there.
Yeah, I think that we should get a music, movies, whatever, something.
Have one banner that encompasses music and movies. So there
Music,
were three at the same time,
More
right?
in, copy changes. Forces. That's four, okay.
We're still- even if we- No, three. No, four.
We discussed just putting the movies in the park on top of the Langsberg one too.
yeah,
And just get 5 of those that say music in the park, 5 that say movies in the, or movies in the park.
And then we could put them downtown and places like that.
Yeah. Then the design's already approved. Instead of it saying welcome, it says movies in the park. Music in the park.
So we get 5 different banners then. Is that what we're saying?
Yep, because we would get a welcome one, farmer's market one, right, Wolfpack,
back,
and then
And then your-
music
music and
and movies.
movies.
I think so.
And we're still, depending, I think we're around the budget.
It appears to be.
10, 5, 5.
So we're doing 20, 10. 20, 5 and 5. Okay. There we go.
We'll see how it rolls
But you're gonna put the 5 and 5 instead of well.
on that.
Right, right. Yeah, it's not gonna be these guys. I was just trying to see how many different ones we were having and what we were doing, so. That's all.
And they don't need to, I mean, they don't need to make the 5, like a pat, just do it.
Okay,
And I mean, they're smart enough to know how to make
yeah,
it look. good.
something make look good with that, that
Correct.
says music.
Yeah. And we don't need to make the color, just go ahead and let them handle it and bring them out. If we don't like them that well, then the board 5 years from now can re-up them.
But I do think that we should look at these once a year to see, you know, hey, do we want to change one banner or something
If
like
we
you
want to
said?
add
Then you
something.
start to get that variety, or if we really like these music ones, maybe we'll want more. I mean,
Which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
at least then we can just add it.
we've learned we want to put the least information possible on them. Like no dates, no times, no, because they're just otherwise they,
Don't make it too-
yeah, so.
And then they start calling them. Well, I thought. it was-
Or you change the date or change something like that.
That happens a lot, especially with music.
They have no idea.
Movies
Okay.
have stayed the same. Okay,
And we're under, we've already, like Richard said, the money's there, so go ahead. and do it.
so the money is the money up to 4,000? Is that what you said?
It's up to $4,025.
Okay.
Oh, actually, we've spent $1,065 of that.
Oh, shoot.
Spending it. Let me go.
Is
look
that
and see
all
what
of the design?
Calculation.
Not with money spent. So we're over budget. That's normal. We're good.
Now we're back to
Now
normal.
we're just saying-
Now we're back to normal.
See what we spent.
I just paid you guys your tax distribution, so you're okay.
Is that how it goes?
Cassie, do you know what the motion was? Did we have a motion in November? I didn't bring my minutes book in here.
I can, let me see if I got something up here.
There's actually an error.
You paid
I should have found an
325.
error. I gotta fix
Sign,
this.
match on it.
Yep, there's an error. So we've only spent $325.
That was the one fee, right? The.
Yep,
setup,
yep.
whatever.
Yep, and I made a note to fix this. I put something in the wrong category.
And then you gotta add the tax and shipping and all that.
We won't have to have tax, and I'm guessing we might, I mean, I don't know if we can pick them up or we pay shippings, we can pick them up. The city will just. He's, yeah, yeah, so
Yeah, so they don't have to-
Unless the shipping is for
Unless
them,
that's
having
for
to get-
them,
yeah.
we don't-
then we may have to pay
Oh,
it.
manual process.
So how close are we? Or are we?
The only
Oh.
thing that happened in November was the motion to pay for the design.
Okay, so the only motion we had in November was to pay for the design, which is whatever that, that's probably the number that you have there then.
So if we put a motion out for the $4,000,
Yeah, we'll be under that.
we'll be good.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna do that.
If you do 60 at $54, that's 2,200 right there. Give or take, plus the 300 there in Texas, it's still gonna be fun.
I'll make a motion after $4,000 for the new band.
I can go pick it up too.
Yeah, I'll ask them if we can remove, I mean, I know we don't have to pay the tax, so. I think that was just a quote back then. So we have a motion.
I'll second.
And a second. All in favor?
I-
And opposed?
What was the motion? Not to exceed.
Not to
4?
exceed 4,000.
Everybody got that?
Mhm.
You're right. Close to that.
Yeah, by the time they're done, it's probably right there.
Perfect.
Okay. That took care of that.
Look at us go.
What else you got?
I just wanted to talk about the Sedum Fellowship. We're gonna be interviewing pretty soon and, I just kind of want to hear what you guys think we're looking for. Like, what kind of person should we, I mean, somebody who can work with the DDA, somebody who can, you know. What kind of skills are we looking for? Anything, any suggestions, any ideas? Great interview questions for them. No? Mark. Go to pool.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays, that's almost it, isn't it?
I mean, I'm just kind of, we're getting ready to come down to the process, so.
Someone that's gonna work pretty close with you.
Yeah.
So. Someone that can work pretty close with you.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
I'll be easy to write up.
You probably know better what you need than we know what you need help with.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mean, sometimes it's hard to quantify what that means, you know, it's like, okay, how do I say, I mean, I want somebody who can, you know. Is a go-getter, you know, how do you get that out of them?
It's gonna be on every one of them's
Yeah.
application.
Cassie's probably got an idea.
They're all a go-getter and
Do
Right.
you,
worker.
do you have applicants already?
All the applications went to
That's all
Speedo,
ours.
so they have a website, all their stuff is there, so she said, yes, there are applicants for every municipality.
So do they, is there 30 of them or whatever, and then there's more than one community that's going after them?
There's 10 communities that were awarded
Okay.
the same grant that we were.
Yep.
But some of these people maybe only applied in Saugatuck, because whoever, like, so we shared it with Baker College. So a person from Baker College, you know, maybe they're gonna wanna go to the Lansing one, maybe they're gonna want us. Maybe they want, you know, one of the other ones, you know, Delagiac or whoever got it.
Right.
So they may not apply for every single municipality. They might apply for 2 or 3 of them though. And
In
then
their
we, can-
area,
right,
yeah.
or they wanna move.
You said it's 15 months?
Yep.
15 months.
What's the goal of them? What's their main purpose?
So in our application, we asked that they help with the promotion of Sleepy Hollow. So like that we can promote, you know, our town to Sleepy Hollow, like better. Marketing and like we worked on before, but it's time to update that and work on building some relationships with, you know. People at Sleepy Hollow, like that work there. And the campers or whoever we want to get to come into town. And then if we do get them in here, what are we gonna do with them? So a marketing and a retention program and, you know, work with the businesses on, you know. And maybe a way to measure what that's gonna look like. So we get like a baseline right now and then see how many people start seeing people from Sleepy Hollow. So that's one of the projects. The other project was to help the DDA or the city get into the Michigan Main Street program. There's an application, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. So hopefully in the 15 months, they could get a lot of that work done. The main focus is economic development. A lot of the other places are using this to get through the RRC program that we already did. So we're using them to, you know, meet some of those goals and objectives in our plans and stuff like that.
So you just ask them, what would you do? How would you go about promoting? See what they say.
Yeah, I mean, great, good idea, you know, because I mean, that's, you know, those are some of the things that we really want to see happen, so.
Yeah, then listen to the best answer.
Right. They think outside the box a
Right.
little bit or get creative and, you know. Not just a cookie cutter answer, but really.
Yeah.
Into it.
Off topic, how's the boat launch?
So you know, we got denied the grant application, yep, we did. And so we're gonna, the city's authorized us to reapply, so April 1st deadline. Basically, we've been working with the representative at the DNR that, you know, like the local people or whatever, and he's our person. And they feel like that we scored high in all of the areas we could score high. There's a couple of areas that they're gonna try to work on, like you get like really big points for being like a part of a trail. And we tried to make the case that it's a water trail. And I mean, if you go on the state's website, it's a water trail, but they didn't give us the 50 points for being a water trail. So he's gonna work with us on some of those things and, you know, they just, a lot of the stuff that got through this time, they said kind of just depends on where they're focusing their money, and they did a lot of acquisition grants last year. So it's that this year it could flip and be more of this kind of stuff. So he thought, and they all think we have a great application and they really like the project a lot. So I'm gonna try again.
It can't be that much money, really, is it? Well,
It's 300,000.
yeah, it's not.
And a big piece of that is the accessible ramp to get into the water. The launch itself is, you know, that's pretty expensive. And then we're gonna have some pavement so that, you know, you can get down to the water and that kind of stuff, so.
Dave, just write a check, it's the Dave Shinsky boat launch.
There you go,
How much?
300,000.
400. Don't.
Full on.
Don't wanna-
Dog park.
Yeah, we gotta have some money in there for the flag.
For your own flag,
Yeah.
Dedication flag.
ribbon cutting, you know, all that stuff.
Didn't want to write a check, but you're just curious.
I hadn't, I must have missed the meeting that.
Maybe I didn't know last time we met, because.
Yeah, I didn't hear
It was in an
that.
email.
It's just been a while. and it's like-
See, look at her.
I was gonna ask.
He reads
Dave.
everything.
Red flag, red cross street to fire.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
No, ours don't go to that street, actually,
To High Street.
doesn't. Cause the sidewalk that got put in there was 5 or whatever, so that we could have. Wasn't it?
Where?
Over here. Like if you walk through the park and you wanna walk to the subdivision. You walk past the skate park,
Mhm.
you go right to High Street. You take a left, go to the sidewalk, and go sidewalk next, but the asphalt sidewalk to the sidewalk on Doyle.
But because we made them cross the street there because of that terrible corner. So I think that was designed that way.
But people don't, I mean, I don't, I walk right to the street, walk down the street for 50 feet.
Well, it's the
But see, if you
Because the sidewalk kind of goes backwards towards, of course, the elementary school.
Right,
It
but-
should, but
Right, but that was part of the connecting it and stuff, and I think
Yeah.
that at the time, everybody, including MDOT, wanted us to stay away from that corner. And so we're trying to keep kids out of that big intersection and make them go down. You know, but, I mean, you can't force them, you know,
I mean, I know.
but I know
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I just walked to the street then, but so now I'm on the street. No, it's night or whatever, you're on the street.
That's the length of Potter's property, isn't it? Basically.
No, it's across the
It's
road.
even
from-
less
Oh,
than
it's on
that.
the side.
It's across the road from Potter's property.
Well,
It's on.
So they
it's Tim
pull in that
Leonard's
parking
property.
down there. right?
Oh, okay,
There's an asphalt walk that goes all the way right to High Street, stop.
yeah.
So you either walk out the street or. You're on the street basically, so you can either go left and walk down the street and jump back on the sidewalk to go to the subdivision. Which makes a little sense, because like the straightest line,
Right,
point A to point B, but there's no connecting sidewalk from that asphalt walk.
I'll have to go look at it,
You'll see it.
yeah, just to see.
But I do think that was,
And
I
it was all an MDOT thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was
Because that
intentionally
is a main
left out
bus
there.
route, and they wanted to keep kids off that corner, they wanted to crossing it down the street.
But even if they didn't do that, I mean, you could still do a. Angle sidewalk for that corner or something, you know, because the issue is when you're walking down. It doesn't feel natural, like you're almost going backwards to go, you know what I mean? To go
No,
back.
you're right, I mean. Yeah, you know, I mean, I know exactly what your piece you're talking about,
Plus, it's sections of property that we don't actually.
so we own,
The right.
well, yeah, we got the right of way.
Do you have anything, Dave? I was gonna ask you. No, nothing.
Still winter.
Well, it didn't all freeze today, at least.
Thankfully.
I mean, it was freezing, but it at least warmed up enough to.
We did meet with, the school this last week, to start moving forward on tearing down the storage units. And, building a parking lot. And they're working on a design with cabs. They want to, design like a new traffic pattern for the buses and the cars. So we get parents going one way and buses another and just try to get rid of some of that back. Well, they're trying to change I mean, they're gonna force the traffic pattern so that, you know, the drop off isn't as bad as it's been, but I think that when they did that delay start,
Yeah, they can go back to regular start would be much more helpful. for us.
but I haven't seen the backups since they did that.
Oh, it's made a pain for us to clean up and stuff.
So,
You know, it's paying for parents too, but pickup and drop off is way different.
okay, I thought so too. I haven't noticed the traffic as much
It's way
and,
better.
yeah.
If you ever had to get to the the high school, the middle school and the elementary school in a 15-minute period. If you had kids at all three or
Good
even
luck.
two. Middle school is the absolute worst place on planet Earth.
The elementary school, they're lined way up back the door.
At least that moves. The middle school, it's just way too many.
Because you had people trying to turn left,
Oh,
while
the whole
people were
thing's
trying to,
bad.
and it was just.
It never made any sense to me why they
know,
didn't pull
right?
the buses up through where they have parents go.
Do that.
They park buses there during the day, so they clearly can make it through there fine, and then throw all the parents at the back. Why do we have them going through with the easy traffic?
Yeah,
Why are we
it's-
not? There's a lot more real estate in the back. No one takes those roads on the backside of the middle school in the morning, except for the people going to middle school. So why we're routing all these parents through the front door, because little Tommy can't walk across the parking lot at the bottom? It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Little Tommy and Big Joey should be getting on a yellow thing that goes down the street
Yeah,
myself, but.
right.
that-
But then you have so many out of district, you have a ton of out of district people now, and now we're talking about adding maybe 30 houses and possibly 2 kids per house, and that's not a small amount of even walkers. If they're walking, they're close to school, the traffic,
School bus stopping on my car, I mean, the hell are they stopping here for? That kid can't walk that far.
they don't.
I know.
I don't think they even allow them until they're starting.
So we're gonna be, I mean, weighing in on the design of that. You know, I think that you guys should take a look at it. The parking lot is gonna serve both the city and the school district. And that was the intent, that we would be able to utilize the parking as well. So it won't be like fenced off school only, you know, I think that it's supposed to serve our business district too, so. Pretty excited about seeing that project.
This.
For sure, that was the thought, you know, I thought, well, at least people come in, you can
Not
see
too
it, you
far.
can walk there. right?
Absolutely.
I mean, in the summertime, the school's not using it, so if there's 40-50 spots there, that's huge. I don't know if it's gonna be that many, but it's a pretty big lot. So,
I would say even if you had 20,
Yeah.
that's huge, that's 20 cars. That
so
park all overhead.
kids could do fundraisers and charge $50 a car or something. No, just kidding. We gotta pay for the. parking lot
$5
somehow.
parking.
Yep.
Okay,
I think that's all I had.
anybody else?
I think at some point we have to address the cracking sidewalk down in front of, well, in our block, in my block. It's
And the sidewalk
solving,
was cracked up here. Maybe during the budget?
maybe during the budget. Yeah, it was never replaced in any of the, and it's all just getting worse by the minute.
You can get a.
They're right out in front of your place.
What's that?
They're right out in front of your place.
It's on our whole block.
Don't say
actually.
never replace, we replace it, when did we do that, Mark?
When I did across the street, we
25
did both of them.
Because we did that, we was trenching the way that conduit in
Yeah.
We didn't go around the corner, we just did them. From Colossus from the corner to the corner.
Yep.
And down the building. Didn't go down. The other street at all. Up church or whatever. But that was. 30 years ago.
It looks like it.
Well, some of the sidewalk that's been just replaced doesn't look.
Yeah,
Yes.
we get
I will tell
sidewalk
you-
Discussion, we really need to rethink that stamp stuff.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah, it's
think
not
that,
made to, it's not made for that.
I think, well, no, but it's also hard to shovel.
Slippery.
Well,
Yeah.
then, like, when we seal it, that next winter, it's horrible, so.
I think, I mean, we thought we were doing a cool thing because it looked good, but it's. Nobody told us about all the other problems.
What you get with age,
Well, no,
now,
it's true.
well, it'll be considerably cheaper if we don't do anything other than just replace it now. Cause it's $4 or $5 a foot versus 15 a foot. Huge difference. Talk to your city. No, it's in front of your building. You gotta replace it. Right?
Well, it's the DDA district.
Maybe a face forward. I'll put in my application.
I guess we can take a look at that. I think that the steps and coming up to the mail, that's needing some help.
TLC.
Like around the lamp there where they did all, it's just demolished. It's been there long enough that it didn't take the punishment.
You guys wanna get a price on that, so it would be ready to go for summer or something?
Talking about the one in the parking lot?
The whole parking lot, actually, and
Yeah. the whole-
and the brick work.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that drainage off that building is not maintained at all off the post office at all.
It was.
No, it's a combination of that, and when you use a brick on the ground like that in Michigan, that's soft material and the salt is choosing.
Shoot it up.
There was, some problems with the parking lot. The
But
drainage isn't the great there.
a lot of water comes off
Yeah.
of that building and it doesn't go anywhere. It just sits and sits and sits and breaks
Down the
everything.
big hill and goes through that sidewalk and comes out of
Yep.
that sidewalk.
Have you ever seen in the summer, after a big rain, when the water's coming out of that hill? First time I noticed, I was like, what?
How far does the owner of that building own? Just one set of parking
Yeah,
from the sidewalk out,
I believe that's true.
right where the
Just those
table
parking
is.
Yes,
spaces right there.
But he's pretty good to work with usually. When it came to,
I think they just sold that.
oh, did they? Well,
Pretty sure I just saw a sale go through on that building.
But that parking lot, yes, and the sidewalk going down, and then it's a water issue, like she's saying. Tried to do whatever you can do there, but
Yeah, we put all that sign trench. in
Yeah.
2 years ago.
maybe it's helped some, but it's still not. It's a bad spot too. And we patched that parking lot, and that was a waste of money.
We did the wrong spot.
Well, it was a waste of money. So I wouldn't want to do that again. A patch job, because it would be better if it was removed and redone. Completely. He actually give me a price, Brent did, when I got a price from the
Yeah,
last year. And I don't know what, have you had any pricing on any asphalt yet? Has it gone down any?
I don't know.
No,
I had sympathy scare.
because of fuel and so on and all
You
the
got
price
that
of
quote
everything.
right when everything was super high, you'd think it would be lower.
You would think, that's what I thought, that it may go down a little, but like eggs or chicken wings, it's not going back down. So I was assuming that it would still be a pretty large price. That was like 70 grand, and this one up here, I think was 28,000 or something. Seemed like,
I can't remember which one was which. But yeah,
I can get another price from him.
I think we still have it.
Doesn't take much to, because he just goes overhead and does it all by computer. There's your square footage.
They probably just update his quote. Yeah.
And I would assume that you would want that brick thing just taken out completely.
Well, what do we do though to make it look nice?
Well, that was one of the thoughts, is almost
Rain garden?
Flowers. More.
Rain garden.
something else on the plow. I mean, I was watching the guy
Yeah.
try to plow the other day when I
Additional
was there.
$700 should do.
Are you talking about right around that light pole?
Yeah,
I mean, you could do colored concrete, you still just colored concrete, just color them.
Just something,
Pay a little more, but I mean,
Contrast.
it's not, you don't have to.
Those are real bricks around
You're
it,
not
right?
stamped.
Not the stamped concrete.
No, yeah.
no, those
That's
are right.
Alright, I gotta go get my dancer.
10-4. We can get out of here. We're just chatting now.
Yeah.
See ya. But that spot I've been watching too, and it's getting,
And see, we took out at the other end where the stairs are. We took them all